All right, you guys, today on the chopping block, we have Brad Sniffington, aka the Big Sniff, aka the Sniffer, aka Who Stole Me Lucky Charms.
Can you name me marshmallow shapes?
He just doesn't stop. At this point, I am thoroughly convinced this guy has to have some sort of humiliation kink, similar to like Larry Wheels, clavicular. I was reading through some of the comments and they're so right. The little like shark teeth with gaps in between every single one, the patch of pubes on his face, not even like a full-grown beard, the speech impediment. And by the way, I'm done being nice. I was trying to give this guy a little bit of grace. I wasn't making fun of him because it's just low-hanging fruit. Like, why are we going to make fun of him for the way he speaks when there's plenty of other things to make fun of him for? And I'm still not necessarily going to make fun of that, but I'm also not going to be nice to him either because he's just being a complete asshole. So since we caught up with him last, which really wasn't that long ago, it was like, what, a few days ago, he has gone downhill very quickly. In my last video, we saw how he was pissed off. He must have been dating or talking to some girl. Maybe he liked some girl and she must have gotten hickeys at a frat party from another guy, because he made this whole video bitching and whining about how girls are going to frat parties and getting hickeys and then have to go back to their mommy's house and hide them. But it's just like, bro, just because you're a full-grown adult male living with your mommy doesn't mean that everyone else in the world is also a loser living in their mom's basement. So let me just refresh your memory on where we left off last time.
You have God in your bio, but only thing you post on Instagram is bikini pictures. Oh, you go to frat parties, not to drink. So he only goes to frat parties to hang out, not this.
Oh, that made me really uncomfortable. Why was he looking at the camera doing that at the same time?
So you cover up your neck when you comes home with makeup, so your mom will not be able to see your hickeys.
Your mom?
You want to mature man, but when you pussy in your fucking place, you get mad and you cause him toxic.
They're after me lucky charms.
Dude, it's just so weird how he has such a problem. He gets so mad at the idea of girls going out and having fun. He gets mad at bikini photos, yet he thinks that guys should be able to walk around without a shirt on. And if you're not, then you're gay or something like that. Are we good? What's going on here? There's just something about this guy that is so goofy. I mean, all the alphas are goofy, but there's something about the Sniffer in particular that is just fascinating. He is like goofier and lamer than all the rest in some way. And I don't know if it's because he's trying to emulate his daddy Wes, he's just like such a follower, or if it's because just like everything he does seems so fake and performative. You can tell he's like a mommy's boy and he doesn't even have a full grown beard. Like, he doesn't even look like he's hit puberty yet, which obviously, I mean, he's like, what, almost 20? I don't know how old he is. He's got to be almost 20.
I'm 20 years old, brother.
But he still looks like a child and acts like a child. But honestly, it's just so painful to watch. And I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here, but to me, this is fatherless behavior. You know how, when guys see girls on OnlyFans, they call that fatherless behavior? To me, this is the equivalent of that. And I know that not everyone who doesn't have a father acts this way, but a lot of times when somebody loses a father at a young age or didn't have a strong father figure in the home, they usually do one of two things. Either they're forced to grow up and mature really quickly, they become grounded, responsible, and usually very emotionally stable men, or they end up creating this very, exaggerated cartoon version of what they think masculinity is supposed to look like. And usually the second version, which is what I think this is, comes off very goofy and performative because that's exactly what it is. It's a performance. It's not real. This is all what he thinks a, strong man is supposed to look and sound like. And because he didn't have a strong father figure in the home, obviously he's now growing up without a dad. Very sad. I'm not making fun of him for that whatsoever. I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking, right? But he has now had to turn to other guys that he sees on the internet, like Wes and Vincent Fisher, all these alpha males. And so that is what he's trying to emulate. I was actually thinking about this last night. If you look at all of these alpha male coaches, a lot of them have grown up without a father, like Wes Watson, Vincent Fisher. I just saw an interview, which I will be doing a video on that very soon, but I just saw a video of him talking about how he lost his father at a very young age due to cancer. Super sad.
I mean, all throughout, I would say the most painful, traumatic moment I went through was losing my dad, for sure. You know, it was a big one.
How old were you?
8 years old.
I lost my mom at 12.
Really interesting. Yeah. But that's that age where, you know, it has the most impact.
So there's actually a pattern here, which I find very interesting. This is not a coincidence whatsoever, in my opinion. And again, it's very, very sad. And I would have more empathy and compassion for these guys if they weren't such assholes. But trauma like that can either make somebody deeply compassionate or can turn them into bullies. Bullies who project their insecurities onto everyone else. And I'm not trying to go on some huge tangent here. I'm just saying that trauma can really change people. And what I think these guys are doing are being bullies. They're like internet bullies. And they don't actually know what real masculinity looks like because of the fact that they did not have a father in the home. So they are now relying on caricatures, fake internet gurus, other alpha males, and satire level performances of toughness, or what they think toughness looks like. And I'll wrap this up. We'll move on in just a second. But when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, you know, my own father and how, to me, that is like the epitome of masculinity. A man who was confident enough to, you know, play Barbies with his daughter, to paint my nails when I was younger, to, you know, dress up. We would dress up as Beauty and the Beast and do little Beauty and the Beast dances, ballroom dances. And not once did he have to question his masculinity or tell me no because, you know, that's not what men do or whatever the hell. And to these guys, they would look at something like that and call that gay. And I know this because, you know, they all do these Q&As on Instagram where they have their audience type in, you know, things that is unacceptable for men to do. And it's typically things like that. Even things as simple as making your bed, right? Making your bed in the morning is somehow gay. But sadly, it's because all these guys who are doing these things, Vincent Fisher, Wes Watson, this guy, I forget, Sniffington, whatever the fuck, these guys don't know what a masculine man looks like. Anyways, you get my point. I just think it's honestly really sad. It's sad because they're chasing something that they never had and they don't even know what it looks like. Anyways, that's just my tangent. I was thinking about that last night and I was just like, wow, it's really fascinating that all of these losers on the internet are fatherless. And that's not to make fun of them or, you know, take jabs at them. Obviously, it's like I said, I'm going to say this a million times because I know somebody's going to come after me for it. It's obviously extremely sad that their fathers passed away, but that also doesn't give them the right to now come online, scam people, lie to their audience, be bullies, you know, calling people fat, calling them all these names, ugly, losers, whatever, gay, whatever the hell, right? And it's coming from that trauma and also probably a lot of pain. But anyways, enough of me psychoanalyzing these guys. Moving on. Like I've said in previous videos, these guys hate women. These guys like Wes Watson, Clavicular, all of these wannabe alphas, they are incels because in my opinion, it's because they can't get women. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this complete dork. Who's gonna date him? Much less fuck him. No one. So of course they're gonna hate women, right? I mean, if you're a, you know, attractive guy who's successful, who has, you know, everything going for him, you're not gonna have a hard time getting women. Therefore, you're not gonna hate them. You're not gonna be like this weird incel calling women stupid.
They're stupid. Women are stupid.
And that's actually why I make these videos. Well, one reason why I make these videos, because yeah, they're goofy and they're fun to laugh at and make fun of. But at the end of the day, they are, in my opinion, very dangerous because they are teaching other men, they're coaching young men to also hate women, which makes this next clip I'm going to show you very funny because the sniffer made a ridiculous video as usual saying that, after moving, he moved to a different city and suddenly he became extremely successful because everyone in his small town were losers. They were working at the fish dock or whatever the hell.
I left my hometown when I was in grade 9. And at first, I thought it would be the worst mistake that I ever make. But it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. There's so many people that rather be fucking comfortable than get out of your comfort zone and do the things they want to do. Fear is holding you back.
Shout out to Saintsaholic because I got this information from him. But apparently he moved like 3 hours away, still in his mommy's basement, by the way. He's still living with mommy. But he moved like 3 hours away and he's talking about how now he's so successful because he got out of that environment, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, this girl commented on that video saying, if you're so successful like you claim to be, hire a speech therapist and maybe a dentist while you're at it. Hilarious comment because it's not like that's not making fun of him necessarily because his job, right? His coaching job is motivational speaking on the internet. That is what he does every single day. He makes these stupid ass videos and Instagram stories. So wouldn't you want to perfect your craft? Wouldn't you want to take like speech classes, Toastmasters, whatever the hell, or at least a communications class, something if you want to be this motivational speaker? So I think it's a valid comment, but check out this video. This was his response to that comment.
Listen up. I don't often reply to videos like this, especially women, because every single one of them mostly are just fucking retards. But listen up, you fucking thought. I didn't say that I was successful. I didn't say that. Not yet, anyways. I'm on the road to, but not yet. Second, I do not need a speech therapist. I don't. And third, I go to the dentist every 3 months. But for you, I think you should close your fucking legs. God bless.
I goes to the dentist every 3 months. Dude, first of all, who goes to the dentist every 3 months? I don't believe him anyways, but hilarious. Like, dude, this girl absolutely demolished him because she commented on that video, his response, right? She goes, I'm so sorry I triggered you, Bradley. God bless. With the lisp. Oh, not the lisp. But now you see what I'm talking about. Like, I don't necessarily want to make fun of the way he talks, but I'm not gonna watch what I say anymore. I'm not gonna try to watch out for his feelings or be easy on him or not be mean or whatever. I'm still not gonna be mean, but I'm just saying I'm not trying to look out for his feelings because he doesn't give a shit about anyone else's. He's a complete asshole, completely disrespectful. That girl didn't say anything disrespectful to him at all, and he's on the internet calling her a thought, telling her to close her legs. Dude, who the fuck are you? Truly, you're a loser that lives with his mommy. These guys are such pussies. It's hilarious because they can dish it out all day, talk shit about people, call people fat, make all these videos, but as soon as they receive one quote unquote negative comment, which in my opinion wasn't even really a negative comment, but whatever, they can't handle it. Poor little Bradley has been getting dick slapped from all angles this week because then a group chat that he had where he had said the N-word got leaked. And instead of, admitting to it, usually if you admit to it, say you made a mistake, it was a long time ago, whatever, you were young, whatever the fuck, usually people are willing to give you grace. Well, he didn't do that. Instead, what he did was came online and doubled down. And by double down, I mean he literally said it again. This is what I mean, dude. This is fatherless activity. Fatherless activity. And that's not a diss, but if his dad had seen this, he would have whooped his ass.
Oh, Brad, someone posted a video of you in a group chat. Okay? And? You said the N-word in it. Okay? And? What? Why don't you care? Can I get a reaction? No, bitch, because I don't care. I don't. That's the difference between me and you. When someone makes a video about you, you go and cries about it. You go and try to get it taken down, report the video, email YouTube, etc. But for me, I just laughs. That's all. Because for me, it's just content. I find it funny when other people make videos about other individuals. For example, there's YouTube channels on YouTube that are grown-ass men making videos about another grown-ass men. You know how gay that is? Oh, Brad, someone posted a video of you saying the N-word, okay? And what? It's just a fucking video. If you get offended over that, you're just a pussy-ass nigga.
There's a YouTube channels on YouTube. Dude, this is so hilarious because this is the same guy that we just saw crash out over a comment. And he's online saying that he doesn't care about people making videos about him. Yes, he does. In fact, he gets very upset and gets even more upset when people make fun of his speech impediment, which I'm not doing, but I'm just saying, God forbid anybody make fun of his lisp or the way he speaks. He crashes out and almost literally cries about it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the sniffer, he done did it again. He done did it again. I gotta play this video for you. He just posted this 2 hours ago, and oh my god.
You guys love my life, don't you? You guys know more about my life than I know about your guys.
Yeah, no shit. Because you guys post every little thing about your life. Hello?
Listen up, man. I'm not saying who it is, but someone just saying shit with my mom and me online, and I seen him at Omega, and I pressed him about it, and the pussy ass nigga went up and fucking reported me, right? So, it's whatever it is, man. Just, there's so many soft motherfuckers nowadays. It is what it is. Life goes on.
First of all, I guarantee you he didn't press anybody at Omega, so we don't even need to focus on that. But second of all, I'm not trying to be mean, but you can literally see the wheels in his head turning as he tries to form a complete sentence. It's so difficult for him. Like, just spit it out, dude. You're a public speaker, right? You're a motivational speaker. Come on, spit it out.
Absolutely, homie. Haters gonna hate. That's life, right? But the way I see it is, I'd rather get hated on for doing something good than get hated on, than get hated on doing the opposite, right?
Then he decided to do the age-old Q&A, and people were asking him about the whole Wes Watson situation, asking him to speak on it, obviously, because that's his papi. And of course, he took this yet again as another opportunity to spread Wes's ass cheeks as far as he could and shove his nose all up in there.
I'm getting so many DMs about this topic, and yes, I'll give my thoughts. But let me tell you something, dog. Your life gotta be so fucking boring if you're coming along and talk about another individual. Do I agree with what happened? Absolutely not. It's disgusting.
End it there. End story there. There doesn't need to be a but. I guarantee you he's going to say but.
But do not come along and talk shit about an individual that inspired you, that made your life better.
Inspired me. Made my life better. I don't know about that. Maybe made my channel better. That's for sure. But my life better? I wouldn't go that far.
Wes changed my life. He got my habits better in check. He got my life better overall. But that do not mean I'm gonna come online, talk shit about a person. Why he done? Yes, he failed his license. He went back to the shit they preached to never do. But do not come online and talk shit about a person that inspired you, that made your life better. He's gonna pay the price of what he done. Like a man, what he should do. It's disgusting what he done. Absolutely. Come on, man.
Jesus Christ. Brad, take that dick out of your mouth. That's why you can't talk. But anyways, you guys, he wasn't done there because he then made another video copying Wes, talking about, the whole 10-inch arms and tits, men having tiny arms and big old titties, whatever the hell. I mean, this guy, I swear, he cannot come up with his own shit to save his life. It is so pathetic. What's so embarrassing is that this is going to follow him forever, especially that video that I showed you earlier of him doubling down and acting like a complete fool. These things are going to follow him. And he's not going to become, sadly, it's not that I don't want him to be successful, but he's not going to be a successful coach. He's not confident. He's not original. He looks like a little dweeb, like a little insecure baby back bitch boy dweeb. And there's no way that people, like maybe a couple little kids in his hometown might pay him for coaching. But beyond that, he's not going to become like some world renowned, like international internet coach with millions of followers. No, that's just not him, especially because he's such a follower. He doesn't have anything original to offer. So eventually, the kid's gonna have to get a job, and his digital footprint at that point is gonna be trash. Like, with all this stuff he's doing, it's gonna be awful. So I don't think he realizes, but like, the only person's life that he's ruining is his own, because nobody is gonna want to hire this guy. Like, this guy's like, what, 20 years old?
I'm 20 years old, brother.
And he already has all this shit on the internet. You know, he thinks he's being such a badass by pissing people off. Really, all he's really doing is ruining his own life. Nobody gives a shit, dude. Nobody cares. You're not like some badass by coming online saying all this stuff. You're just fucking yourself over. But, you know, he does what he wants.
Do not call yourself a man if you're walking around with spaghetti arms and tits. If you're walking around as a fucking man with fucking tits, do not call yourself a man. There's so many men nowadays that are walking around like they don't care about themselves. It says in the Bible, be strong. And I pull up right there. Be strong, be bold, carry yourself. And there's men out there today just walking around with spaghetti arms, fat as fuck, got no self-respect. If you got no self-respect for yourself, how the fuck you expect people gonna have respect for you? It just doesn't make sense. Walk around, hold yourself to a higher standard, and see what people, how they respect you, because they're totally different people. When you carry yourself with respect, there's other human beings that do not care themselves.
I understood about half of that. If that. But of course, you guys, of course, as it usually goes with the sniffer, it gets even worse. Because, like, dude, I don't understand why he can't come up with like his own videos, his own phrases, his own quotes. But, you know, we're talking about a guy who literally copied Wes Watson's tattoo. So anyways, he then made a video to, you know how Wes always says, my life's a movie. My life's a movie. Well, he decided to do the same thing, except for say that his life is a TV show. Really? Okay. You're living with your mom. You make no money. Your body is kind of average, to be honest. But your life is a movie. Okay.
Like, guys, my life is a TV show. It's entertaining as fuck, bro. Because I wakes up every single morning with my purpose to deliver it to the world. But you people wakes up every single morning, do not have a purpose. So you think your purpose is working a 9-to-5 job that you cannot stand? My chicken is done. You think working a 9-to-5 job that you cannot stand, and then thinking that's your purpose? No, my brother. That is not your purpose. Your purpose is deliver something to the world that nobody is doing. Your purpose is delivering value, deliver something, as preach your story, give the story that God made you, and preach to the world. It's only one version of you. It's only one version of myself, and that's what wakes up every single morning. Love waking up, love delivering my purpose, and you should too. Let's get the shit.
Nothing, guys, literally nothing pisses me off more than when these alphas shit on people with 9-to-5 jobs. How do you think the world runs, you fucking idiot? Literally, 9-to-5 workers are the backbone of society. It is how our entire country functions. You don't think that is providing more purpose to the world than this bullshit? When half the time people can't even understand what the fuck you're saying, and you don't want to take a speech class to deliver your message more clearly? You're too lazy to take a speech class because you do have a speech impediment. There's no doubt about it. And you don't speak clearly. You speak like an idiot. And this is supposed to be your job, but yet you're shitting on Americans who are working in 9-to-5 jobs, providing food and money for their household, probably have kids. You literally know nothing about this because you still live with your fucking mom. You're a loser who doesn't even have your own identity, who's copying another man, and you're shitting on 9-to-5 workers. How pathetic is this? This is what I mean. Like, this guy is pissing me off so much. And this is not, bullying him. I personally believe that is bullying. Shitting on people who work 9-to-5 jobs. You're including doctors, construction workers, nurses, people who work at grocery stores. They are providing more value to the world than this bullshit because we can't even understand you, to be honest. I can't. Literally, I can't. And Your purpose, this is what pisses me off about these guys. They act like, your job has to fulfill you in every way imaginable. Like it has to be your entire purpose. You do understand that people can get purpose and fulfillment in other ways, like, spending time with their family, their friends, hobbies, other things. It is perfectly fine to just go to work for a paycheck. Don't let these people, like the way they speak makes people feel inadequate. You know what I mean? It's not motivational whatsoever. Instead, what it does is it makes people feel like they're not doing enough, like they're not fulfilling some sort of life's mission or whatever the fuck. Your job does not need to fulfill you. Yeah, it would be nice if it did, but don't feel like, you're not doing enough or you're inadequate or you're doing something wrong if you don't find fulfillment in your job. There is nothing wrong with that. If you're going through a hard time, times are tough right now in America, but this guy wouldn't know anything about that because, like I said, he lives with his mommy. It is so hard right now for people. There's no reason why we should be adding more pressure than they already have. This is crazy. Just because you're not some fucking internet coach with a speech impediment doesn't mean that you're not enough, okay? Anyways, this guy pisses me off. And this is the guy, by the way, who has the nerve to tell us that we are so afraid to be authentic and to be ourselves. Can you believe that shit? The guy who is literally copying, I just showed you several clips where he is copying Wes Watson, copying his quotes, the whole bald head, the fucking tattoo, everything. Even the way he speaks. Well, he's trying to speak that way, but he can't because he can't get Wes's dick out of his mouth. Maybe if he did, then he would speak more clearly. But this guy who is copying another man to a T has a nerve to tell everyone else that they're so afraid to be authentic.
I wasn't active on stories today, but I hope everybody had a good day. I was busy as fuck. But I have a few words. You people are so afraid to be your authentic self because you care of other people's judgment. You care of other people's opinions. But guess what, my brother? If you're taking other people's opinions and you don't actually make that something that's like pushes you to be the greatest version of yourself, what are you doing? Because there are only two type of people, right? These motherfuckers that sits down all day long and the other individuals that work on their self every single fucking day. What? Stay true to yourself and fuck all other people's opinions because at the end of the day, it's only you versus you. Let's get.
I have no idea what the fuck any of that was even about. Literally, I couldn't even tell you. So yeah, this angry little leprechaun just gets goofier and goofier. And now he's doing like these podcast clips. Those people who sit in front of a camera and pretend to give, some profound, wise, deep advice. And typically they're sitting in some sort of studio filming themselves, acting like they're being interviewed by somebody. But in reality, they're just in a room alone talking to themselves. Yeah, so he's doing that too, except it's somehow worse because he's not even in frame and he's sitting on his couch in his crusty ass pajamas. Looks like he hasn't showered in days. And it's painfully obvious that he's not talking to anyone. He's just sitting there rambling to the void.
The irony is not lost on me that I am also sitting in a room alone talking to myself. However, I think we all understand that, but in this case, he is sitting as though there's some mysterious person off screen asking him questions. And I think that's kind of the cringe part about it. Like, these guys think they're so important that they think somebody would want the knowledge they possess and would actually sit down to interview them. It's just so strange.
It's just god awful. Like, it's awful enough when people do it in an actual studio because it's obvious they're not talking to anybody. It's so awkward. But this is even worse. Like, dude, you're not even in frame and in your crusty ass pajamas.
Focus on your mindset, focus on your body. Because the moment you start respecting yourself is the moment you stop giving these people that just want temporary attention.
What? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyways, I'm done here. Case closed. I need a gavel. Here, I have an empty roll of paper towels. What is this? A reminder to get back to cleaning, you stupid woman? All right, that's enough. I'm done. Bye.